Okay, ciao a tutti. So it is my pleasure to introduce Gero Cacciatore. So let's travel with Gero. So he's on the map. He's from Torino. However, on the map, we will find him in Berlin. Gero is based in Berlin or Berlino. And so Gero Cacciatore, Torino, 1974. I'm reading the Italian version, hang on, the English version. Gero Cacciatore, born 1974 in Torino, is an Italian photographer who works on a long-term photographic project called Recordings About the City of Berlin. As a still life photographer, he has collaborated with a variety of fashion magazines, such as The Velvet, La Repubblica, La Donna, Corriere della Sera, First Panorama. That's quite an impressive list, Gero. And Elle Italia, among others. He has captured photographic images for catalogs and advertising campaigns, for fashion brands and for high-tech companies. Pictures of his project, Cinema du Sahel, about cinema fascination in Burkina Faso, shooted in collaboration with Italian Agency for Cooperation and Development and an agency for migration, were published by the Standard in Belgium. Gero is a passionate biker and traveler. His last solo motorbike travel reportage from Italy to Iran. So all the way from Italy to Iran, Gero?
Yes, no,
wow.
Every kilometer.
has been published, that's just mind-blowing, has been published in Italy, Riders in Moto, and Germany, The Weekender, and England, Overland Magazine. The photographs taken during his journeys, as well as ordinary life in the cities, are part of a long-term and ongoing project called Do Not Remove the Dust. Gero lives and works in Berlin. So guys, check out Gero's website. So it's linked into his bio. And so we're delighted to have Gero Cacciatore at Smart Festival. And,
thank you, Raf.
Yeah, and so what we let me share with the audience. So when you look at the program, initially the session was set up between London and Berlin. So Niaz, who is our curator for photography, is based in London. She is a street photographer, photojournalist, and she works with young photographers. And so what we were looking to do with Gero was to do a photo award into the young photographers community retrospectively to lift them out of the pandemic. Because Niaz's project is to help young people to appreciate that the smartphone is not just to check Instagram and take selfies, that it is a window to capture the moments, to look up. And so what we want to do is acknowledge that. And of course, we needed a distinguished panel of judges, of which Gero is one, and also Ingrid. Now, the situation is that Niaz has been vaccinated and she has some side effects. So we have to respect that. And of course, now Niaz, she was very courageous and wanted to do this anyway. And I said, no, please, on behalf of Smart Festival, your health is more important. And because Niaz is already part of the journey, taking this into the second edition. So what we now have is Gero, and we're honored to have you with us, reporting from Berlin. And so the floor is yours.
Okay, thanks. Thank you for your introduction. Berlin right now is not the worst place to be, I think, even during the pandemic, because the city is dealing very well with it at the moment. So, and so from the point of view of my work, for example, I take picture every day in Berlin. I walk every day through the city, and it's not particularly bad situation. Okay, all the shops are closed, and yes, people wearing masks in the more populated areas, but beyond this is okay. It's okay. The city is reacting quite well.
And how does it impact your work?
Yes, this is a good point. So as I take picture of a little bit, I'm interested in the very chaotic environment of Berlin. Now the situation completely changed. So it's very chaotic in a way, because with all shop closed and some part of the city that seems to be dead from a market point of view, but then becomes very, very interesting. So I'm kind of interested in this overlap of colors and styles that you can see in the city of Berlin. So this is becoming even more. So you see all this closed shop with graphic designers that are just putting how do you say, works on the windows of the shop, and then someone else is coloring or spraying things on it. So the city that looks a little bit dead from market point of view then becomes really alive about this overlapping of colors and stratification of styles and colors. So this is what I'm mostly interested in. And there is a lot of pictures about this in my website, for example. So from this point of view, is interesting for me.
So you've continued to do the recording?
Yes, yes, even more than before.
Oh.
Even more than before, yeah. And another point that is affecting my work is people wearing a mask. So I usually go on the street and take pictures of people as well. Not in a very direct way. So I don't want the people to recognize themselves in the pictures, but it's always a little bit difficult for me to be there standing in front of them and take a picture of them. Now with the mask is kind of easier because people feel more secure.
Oh, wow, because they're hiding behind the mask.
Yes, about the, yes.
It's so interesting, actually. We have an artist from Syria, and he's actually on the website, his artwork, and he has a theme, the mask, the face, and captures the face, and he's saying that, you know, we all hide behind a mask. And exactly. What he's doing as an artist is find the mysterious, the hidden, where we can't hide, right? And so when you get a chance, check him out on his artwork. It's there's different areas, but it's the category is faces.
Yes, I will have a look. I think this is something we are in common, because with the developing of my work about Berlin, I realized that the city looks a little bit like a theater right now. So it's like a staged city. And it's interesting because all these people walking before without the mask, now with the mask, they really look more like character in a play. So this is something that interests me. Yes, this kind of identity concept. Yes.
And what we have recognized throughout the festival is how much overlap there is, the melting pot, going from photography to fine art to performance art. And because as I'm sitting here, I'm learning so much. And so now in terms of your recordings, so would you suggest for us to check them out on your website, or do you, are there some recordings you can share with us, or maybe share like the website? I can share the screen.
If you want, I can share directly. If I can, I can directly share the three pages on my website.
Yeah, there's a share option, Gero.
Yes. Just let me know if you see it. Also, Safari. Yes, I should find it. Sorry. Just give me a second. I just have to find
Piano, piano, as we say in Italy.
Yes, okay. I should. Okay. Okay, can you see it?
I can see it from where I'm sitting, yeah.
Okay, so this is my website, actually, gerocacciatore.com. And yes, what I can do, I can just show you the project, starting from the number 1, that is this. So, is this. You can see, can you see it, right?
Well, let's check with the audience. Can everyone see it?
It's a black and white pictures on screen.
Melissa, can you see it?
Yes, yes, I can see.
Okay.
Okay, we're all good. We're all good. Yeah.
Yes, good. I started this project in 2014 in Berlin. It was winter, so it was 7 winters ago. So I can call it a long-term project. And I started in black and white. So now it becomes very colorful. And the reason why I started in black and white is that I come from Milan, where I was working as a commercial photographer. I still do, but at that time I was really busy in that business. So as a reaction to that, I started to take pictures of Berlin in black and white, and this is the beginning of the project. I was very obsessed with abandoned object on the street.
Mm-hmm.
But then a little bit of color came up a little bit.
Gero, can I check something here?
Yes.
In Berlin, do you, because I haven't been to Germany for a while, do you still have Sperrmüll, where you can just put stuff on the street, abandon it, and the civic government will then come and collect it?
Yes, but in Kreuzberg, where I live, is a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
So people here are more creative. So what's happening here is that there is a mixture of things that are thrown out of the door without asking the government the city to collect it. Mm-hmm. But there are always a lot of people that just put things outside to verschenken, so to give it as a present, and people take it home and make it something new. So it's a kind of upcycling of things that always happening. So in Kreuzberg, where I live, you always find something on the street. So the moment when I realized that a lot of pictures cannot be done in black and white, because this picture, for example, makes sense only in color. Mm-hmm. And the city of Berlin somehow, this is another example, the city of Berlin somehow is very colorful. So this is another example of things thrown on the street, and I'm very interested in, because this kind of objects, they were really intimate and make part of the family life till the previous day, and the next day are just thrown on the street like mule, you know, something to throw away.
Is this Kreuzberg? Sorry.
Yes, this is mostly Kreuzberg, yes, Kreuzberg, especially in the beginning. Yes.
Yeah, that's a melting pot of community. It's magical.
Yes. And the colors come. Mm-hmm. So this is an example of what I was saying before, this overlapping of styles and colors. And when I realized it has a lot to do with Berlin, this kind of overlapping, then I forced myself to take pictures all in colors, because it was completely, so I thought it was the right way.
So Gero, just out of curiosity,
yes,
do you sort of decide, oh, I'm going to take black and white picture, or I'm going to take color pictures, or does it depend on the moment?
Yes, so I started with the black and white as a reaction of what I was doing before. Before I was mostly work for commercial work. So I was working in a studio with flashlights for clients. The subject was very important, and the picture has to be in color and very precise, very high definition pictures. So as a reaction to this, I started to make everything in black and white. But then I realized that the city the colors of the city are so interesting, and that we will see in the next page, that it makes no sense to make picture in black and white. So this is 1 year later. 1 year later, I started to take picture like this. And so this is always the same environment, and it's Kreuzberg. This is very recent. One guy is wearing a mask there. And that's why I force myself to take pictures in colors. And this is a very interesting point about my work, I think, is that I have to develop a method to make only color. Because when you take pictures in black and white, you think in terms of shades. And when you start to take pictures in color, then you have to think, you have to do an exercise of abstraction and things about the colors. So the colors catch your sight, but then you have to think in terms of lines and in terms of areas, color areas. So this is what mostly I do. So I walk a lot. I take pictures related to colors. For example, in this blue environment. And yes, and what I do now is just I storage all my pictures and I keep it for a while. And then through the process of editing, I found out a concept. So the concept come very naturally after the process of editing. But if you want, I can go on with this, showing the color pictures. This is an example.
I love Kreuzberg. I love.
You know, sometimes Kreuzberg is difficult to live, a difficult place where to live in, but for sure it's never boring.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
So, you know, I was impressed, for example, for this picture to find not 1, not 2, not 3 mattresses, but 4. So, and very creative place where to storage. So,
shall we take this to the audience? Any questions so far?
Yes, I'm pleased to be interrupted and and ask questions.
Let's see where we are.
So Rafa, this picture is what I was saying before. So when you think about when you do this exercise of abstraction and you think the picture in terms of lines and colors, this is the result of this kind of process. And the chaos that you find always in these surroundings helps a lot to this kind of exercise of abstraction, because the image is so chaotic that you barely recognize a subject in it. So everything becomes extremely chaotic and interesting.
I would say, yeah, chaos.
Yes, or this is the German way. So very
organized chaos.
Organized chaos.
It's the Greek way also. I see it's a lot in Athens. It rings the bell so much because I got lost here in Athens, and I take some photos with my phone. Of course, not professional, it's just a hobby. And this resonates a lot because chaos is what makes us feel alive most of the time.
Yeah, exactly. So this is chaos, no? But this is not. This is really everyday life here. So
I just like looking at this in terms of German chaos, because the Germans are perceived to be organized, right? So it's like organized chaos, German chaos. Yeah.
Yes. Berlin chaos, modern German.
Kreuzberg. This is Neukölln. Neukölln chaos is very special, let's say so. So this comes from my previous life as a still life photographer. Sometimes I like to do some still life at home. This is my table kitchen, and I was just pleased to show some yellow. Sometimes I need yellow, especially in winter in Berlin. But when there is a ray of light, I'm very happy to do some new shapes with some yellow stuff.
So is the artwork, sorry, can you go back, John? Sorry, can you? So is this graffiti or is this more like art?
I don't know. I don't know. I just saw, I have this kind of vision. So it was like this right part of the picture was very in shadow. And I saw these two tigers. This is Karl Marx Strasse in Neukölln, Berlin. And I took this picture. Then when I watched it again and again, I find it very interesting because it's something. It's like a artwork becoming live somehow. Yeah. Yes, some artists working on the wall. It was like a construction site, and someone was just making.
Well, we have Karin F Giusti, and she presented. We went to visit her studio in upstate New York yesterday, and she's a public artist. And you know, there was she made the point in terms of vandalism, where public art can get vandalized, and how you engage the community so that they take ownership of it, so that it doesn't get vandalized. And I'm just sort of wondering what this is. Would this be like an artist who just wants to do more than graffiti, or would this be...
I'm not sure, because I always so I always try to understand if it's a work that is replicated in different parts of the city. But I just saw these two tigers. What is very interesting is that a few weeks later, a few days later, you don't see it any longer, because someone else is writing on it or doing something different. So
I was just wondering, because like you said, if it would be replicated, for example, I remember in Chicago, there was this theme of cows. So everywhere they had cows, and they were all in different colors and variations. And I think it was exported to other cities. So I was, maybe this could have been like...
Yes, I would be pleased to see again, but unfortunately the construction site now is finished, and the tiger are not there anymore.
Okay.
So, this is a little bit of realism.
Yeah. No more. No
more.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is a human crime.
What?
Victor, what?
Vinyl records closing.
Yeah. Yes.
It's a crime on humanity.
Yes, you should bring it to Nuremberg.
And there are always this is Mitte, so it's the center of the city. There are always this ugly colors somewhere, somehow everywhere. And yes, this is the closing of the second part, and this another closing shop. So shops change every week in Berlin, in every street. And this was before pandemic, but I have to say, but it was like, this is an advertising shop, very, very colorful and changing. Now is another kind of shop, very, very precise and very clean.
So Gero, what I see is, and I'm just sort of making the connection. So for example, if we would say reporting from Rome, right, and reporting from London and here Berlin. So what I've noticed when I've discovered Rome, and we had a speaker actually before, an artist before you, Rachel Cetin, and she's basically, she's Rachel of Rome, Emily of Paris. She's like Rachel of Rome, and what I sort of appreciated with Rome is this sort of spoiled integrity. I no longer was fighting when there was sort of spoiled integrity, when something was, because I discovered the beauty in this. And of course, for example, in Rome, the spoiled integrity goes back to hundreds and hundreds of years. It's like, in terms of the old architecture. But what I'm seeing now here is also, this sort of spoiled integrity where I don't feel I need to fight it. I don't feel like I need to take something and clean it up.
Yeah, exactly.
I sort of appreciate it. And I think
yeah, this is the beauty of it.
Yeah,
but sometimes I feel like I'm not really doing nothing artistic. I'm just documenting this because this is changing very quickly. And Berlin is becoming a very rich city and a very clean city.
Mm-hmm. Well, but I think
definitely the mayors around the world, they don't like this kind of pictures.
Exactly.
If this you post this without mentioning this in Berlin, probably no one would believe it. It's like, or at least someone who had never been in Berlin. So I believe that's kind of a message of a narrative that all the cities need to be clean and tidy, and everything is without graffiti, without dirty, without things that they hide it under the carpet. But actually, this is the reality, and you are documenting it. So this is really amazing.
Yes, and you know what is kind of funny, because I take this picture with pleasure, and I want to do something artistic as well. But when I show this picture, for example, to my parents, my father asked me once, why do you take picture on your dirty thing?
We have it's a new trend. It's called ruin porn. People are I saw this in Detroit, for example, which is the most extreme ruin porn that we ever watched, and the people, even the neighbors, they don't like much because they think they are being stigmatized, and in the end they were, because the image that you have from some cities based on what mainstream media or a lot of images that impact in people's minds, they change the perception of what the reality of the city it is. So I see this when I mentioned to a lot of my friends that, oh, I'm in Athens, and they say, what are you doing there? And crazy, everything is broken, it's chaotic, it's unsafe, it's a lot of things, because that's the perception they have from what they see, unfortunately.
But I think wherever you go, in back street in Athens, you will find such a beautiful image like that.
I didn't find it all yet, but I'm trying to explore the most I can.
The back street of Athens, it's full of this beautiful.
Yeah.
Hi, Gero. I'm Adi.
Hi, Adi. Nice to meet you. So you suggest me to move to Athens?
Well, Athens.
After Berlin.
After Berlin, I would suggest you Tel Aviv, which is a little bit extension of Berlin, probably. And then Athens, definitely, you will have a lot of good results on these kind of images.
Thanks. If you want, I can just share with you the third and last part of the project, that is this. And this is where I think the work take form like a concept, because I was saying before that taking picture of the city sometimes reminds me that make me think of the city as a little bit as a theater. So this is ideally like a theater curtains that is opening, and something happened then. So that we have all this character going around the city. In the chaos, especially. Okay, I think I don't have to comment this. Yeah, this is, I'm kind of obsessed by this building there, because this is something new. So there was an old building, they built this completely new, and artists take it as a campus. So they want to write on it. And in the beginning, they started to make this writing that you see in the picture. Then they made something else from the rooftop. They were just throwing down colors that was coming down from the building. So they made it very colorful and very beautiful. But the effort of the people that have to clean it is always, you know, yes, they have to clean it the next week, and then the artists are even more angry and they want to do it again. So it's kind of, every day I pass through and I take a picture, and I assure you that this building is always different.
It's a permanent canvas. Do
exactly,
you know
it's
if
a
this
permanent canvas. It's a fight. It's a fight.
Gero, do you know if this is a social house building?
No, this is a bank.
Oh, a bank. So
yes,
even more.
now you see this colorful panels downstairs, but now it's a bank there. So I assume that the whole building is from a bank, Sparkasse, and this, I think, is offices with this strange windows. And there are Ferienwohnungen, so apartment for tourists. So it's nothing related to the city environment. It's just something new and based on, we can say, money. It's really money oriented. So the artists want to write on it. So they want to say, okay, this is part of the city still, but it's like a fight.
So the city considers it as vandalism, and the artist
yes
it as art. So there's a fine line, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes. This is
special. Are you taking pictures each time they paint?
Yes. I have different versions.
In 10 years, you will have a very still movie, very nice.
Yes, exactly. Yes. Yes, this is what's happening. The building, like the ugly, but I would say nice, on the left are becoming like the one on the right. So, and there's an abandoned video center. This is from last year, it's not 10 years ago. And there's abandoned video center with yes, that is
like
closing.
Blockbuster, right? The German Blockbuster.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. It's still there. I don't know. Now it's closed. Mm-hmm. This is a strange image about two columns that actually.
This is the famous German engineering, right?
Yes, no, but this is very interesting because I was taking the picture of this. Sometimes you do things because you know you have the instinct to take a picture, but I didn't realize that these two columns they were linked with a red rope. No? So I was just standing there. I took a picture, and then a civil engineer, a German guy, old German guy, asked me what I was doing. I say I'm interested in it, and it was explained to me that these two columns doesn't keep the weight of the bridge. They are separated. There is like 10 centimeters. They are just there for decoration.
Purely cosmetic.
Yes, pretty cosmetic. So because they say, you know, now with this terror attack, they can see, you know, someone can go on it and then the bridge will collapse. But now with this, it's just there to show how was the bridge before, but it's not really
just dummy architecture.
And then, yes, exactly. And then I noticed this rope, so I took the picture, and then every time I look at this picture, say, oh, how many things to know about something that you just want to take a picture, you didn't know why. Okay, and this is the closure of the theater, let's say, so the curtains. So the project is this.
So is that a victim of the pandemic, the building, or was it closed before, or not? Yeah. You said it's a theater, or did I misunderstand?
No. It's metaphorically theater. This is just another construction site in Oranienstrasse in Berlin. As I opened with this curtain opening, now for me this is like a curtain.
Closing
the project. So,
very clever. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so I could just continue to watch this. Unfortunately, there's always a time limit, and Mel, makes sure that I keep to the timing. So if there are no other further questions, then I would like to, well, that's just here. Okay, so Gero, it's been a real honor having you at Smart Festival, our first edition. And,
Thank you for the invitation.
And so please send our gratitude to Ina Nico, our executive curator, who has created the magic of you being here. And so thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
And please, if feel free to stay, to go from artist to being part of the audience. Our next artist, writer, editor is Janet Steen, and I'm handing over to Mel to introduce Janet, assuming that Janet is here. Janet, are you in the building?
Yeah, can you see me?
Wow, yes, okay.
Hi, Janet.
Hi.
Let's kind of Ouija board.
Okay, everybody.